Welcome back for another video. I'm Eharbad, a free-to-play endgame player in Raid Shadow Legends. Today is day 9 on the Morrigaine fusion. Now, what has happened? Well, we have had Classic Arena drop. I've knocked through that. We still haven't really tackled Dragon. We're going to do that tomorrow. So we'll have to basically do the entire Dragon tournament in one day. And we're just continuing to progress on champion training. We're nearly 2,000 points in. We're only going to go for the 5150, so hopefully we'll get a little bit further in that before we have to finish Dragon. And then obviously we've got a bit of time on Sunday to get the last bit of champion training done as well. The main reason we're waiting for tomorrow to do Dragon is purely because of this Dungeon Divers event. And then obviously we've now had Summon Rush drop. The reality is I think we'll either do 4 Sacreds and 150 Mysteries, or maybe we'll do 3 Sacreds, 9 to 10 Voids, and some Mysteries. Where we are is I'm a bit behind the curve today, to be honest. Work was really busy. Then I went to the pub after. I've been energy capped a few times during the day. You know, real life happens. So we might end up having to use some gems to compensate, but it won't derail us from getting the fusion. It's a reality of the life of a Raid Shadow Legends player. The game demands your attention on a basically 24/7 basis. You know, that's unrealistic, and life comes first. So it is what it is. I wasn't actually even going to record this video. I was just going to chill out this evening after I got home. But I thought, you know, we'll just get it done. I'll step up to the mark, deliver the video. Whether it's a good one or a bad one will remain to be seen. I've made one slight error. I've got the quest remaining to do the dungeons 3 times, which I actually deliberately left for this video because there had been requests to see the Richtoff build, and obviously we use Richtoff for solo Dragon, which we will be doing tomorrow for the Dragon points we need for the tournament. We have a lot of energy supplies ready, but we'll go through that in tomorrow's video, exactly how I'm going to tackle the points required. But in this video, I just wanted to go through the build, show how it works. I mean, I've run it over 100 times, I'd say now. He's never failed, even though it does look a little bit sketchy every now and then. He's still never failed, so I'm pretty confident that it's at least 99.5% kind of consistent, if not the true 100%. So I know we'll just have to keep running it and see if it ever fails. Who knows? In any case, I was leaving this for the video. But right now we have 48 energy and we need 60 here, so we're gonna run it 2 times in the video. I'll leave it for a bit, run it the 3rd time, run the rest of the energy in campaign, and then it'll be time for me to go to sleep. So I'll record this video now. We'll run Dragon 2 times. In fact, what we're gonna do, we're gonna jump into Dragon right now. We'll run it once. I'll show the build. I'll talk through why I picked the masteries I did and what stats that I was looking to try to get. It'll give a bit of insight into my thought process there. I'll be honest, I'm not the only person that's ever built a solo Richtoff build for Dragon, so it's not something that's kind of unique to me. I can't say I created it. I wouldn't want to pretend to, but I could at least give some insight into what specific masteries are doing and why the interactions are important, and hopefully give some insight into the actual gearing and what we're looking to achieve there as well. Otherwise, tomorrow we have to do the Dragon tournament. As I mentioned, there's a lot of points to be collected there. We will be able to farm food throughout, as I'll be running the solo Richtoff with 4 food. We have 10 potential energy refills via the clan shop. So, but those are 100 energy per refill, if you will. So there's 1,000 energy there if we need it. I also have 300 energy available in Tag Team Arena Bazaar. I will also have the energy nodes available from Summon Rush. I've got the weekly reset energies from the weekly quests, so that's another 2 refills there. I haven't actually checked, but high chance that there's a energy node in Doom Tower tomorrow as well. We also have 75 energy in Classic Arena. So there's a lot of energy nodes available to us. And in fact, I think we have 2 energy refills from the daily kind of free packs that we get. The mini pack, and I can't remember what the other name they use. So overall, although we have 2,250 points to get in Dragon once the Dungeon Diver starts, we definitely have more than enough energy to get it without using any gems. So we'll obviously work in a cohesive pattern. We'll use all the energy that doesn't cost us anything. So we'll leave the clan shop energy for last, and we'll just see how far we get before we need any clan shop energy. See where we are. So in terms of the Richtoff build, it is regen and immortal. I think you really do need the healing from both sets. As you saw in that run, like, it does look a little bit sketchy every now and then. I think if you didn't have the immortal in addition to the regen set, you simply wouldn't have enough healing for it to be consistent. In terms of the skills, I do have the A2 booked, and I think that is important if you want it to be quick. But I think you could still farm it without any books in Richtoff at all, but it would be quicker if the A2 is booked. I was really actually extremely lucky in where the books landed. This I can't say this has ever happened on any other champion, but all 4 went into the A2, which is what I was looking for. In terms of masteries, there's a few things here. One, we do have rejuvenation, which does improve the healing we're getting from the regen and immortal set. I do think that's quite crucial. We're also reducing the damage we're taking between blastproof and tough skin. I think those are quite impactful as well. The shadow heal does help, particularly on wave 2, where Mystic Hand is providing healing for the enemies. So I think that's actually quite a good mastery to have in terms of providing additional sustain. Delay death, again, will help us in terms of having reduced damage taken, which I think is pretty good. I don't think retribution matters. It's not really important, but I couldn't think of anything better. I mean, you could argue that you could take Cycle of Revenge, but because we're fighting in a situation at the moment where we're positive affinity, we're not going to ever take any crit rate, any crits on ourselves, so you never get any benefit from that. But in theory, if we wanted to try him on a neutral affinity stage, then having Cycle of Revenge could be powerful there. On the support side, we have taken Pinpoint, Charge Focus, and Swarm Smiter just to ensure that we have more accuracy. There's an argument that Exalt would be good to have, but my theory here is that we end up killing all the enemies on each wave quite close together. It's not that we're damaging sort of, say, one enemy at a time and we'll consistently kind of get a benefit from the first kill. I'd say if your Richtoff is going to fail on a wave, will probably fail before you've killed anyone on that wave, because all the enemies die at a fairly consistent pace because it's purely down to poison and there's no kind of single target poison explosion mechanic going on. We then look to make sure that we're cycling as fast as possible. So we've got Arcane Celerity and Oppressor, so we're getting increased turn meter there. Dwarf Steel, not really important. I don't think it makes a lot of difference. It will give us slightly more HP from the Immortal set, but there's definitely an argument that you could take Evil Eye instead. In terms of Cycle of Magic, simply there so we could cycle back to the A2 faster. Again, not really that important, but there's also not really a better option either in the defense tree or in the support tree. There's nothing really there that's going to give us better value. We definitely want Spirit Haste. Having the additional 24 speed is crucial, and we get a lot of value from Master Hexer in terms of having longer poison debuffs. So, what is absolutely mandatory? I'd say Spirit Haste, Oppressor, Master Hexer. I would say really Shadow Heal, Rejuvenation are also mandatory. And then if you look at the pathing you've got, given that context, there's not really much else you would pick. Like I said, definitely you could have arguments for Evil Eye, but other than that, I don't think there's anything else worth picking. In terms of the artifacts, if we look at the total stats, we have pretty high effective HP with definitely a slant towards HP over defense, partly because Richtoff has a pretty bad base defense, so building high defense is actually quite hard on him, whereas building HP is considerably easier as his base HP is actually pretty strong. We are quite quick at 243. When you add in the masteries, particularly with Oppressor, we will start to cycle very quickly. And that is important. I think if you can consistently achieve a 3-to-1 once you've got all the masteries involved, then you're in a good spot. I think that's kind of roughly speaking the target. And with Oppressor, you don't need as much speed as if you didn't have that. So I think that's why Oppressor is quite important here. And then we're looking for enough resistance not to take debuffs from the enemies on the wave, particularly. So something in excess of 300 definitely required. Ideally, I'd probably have this more like 350. And then enough accuracy to land debuffs. We know that is around 225 to be consistent in dungeons, so a little bit more than we need, but pretty close. I don't think there's a lot of wiggle room on these stats, to be honest, if you want a consistent Dragon 25 solo. If you've watched the runs a few times I've shown him, we come pretty close to failing every now and then. And given that I never have failed, I would say that these stats work, but the fact that it's not as maybe comfortable as some of the other runs I've shown on this channel would lead me to believe that if you didn't have stats similar to these, you probably will get the odd failure, and we don't want that. So with that in mind, we're looking really for speed, resistance, accuracy, and defensive stats, so either HP percent or defense percent, and you will see that running throughout all of the gear items. We do have a crit rate roll there that isn't required, but again, HP percent, speed, defense percent, speed, accuracy, resistance, and it's the same theme throughout all the pieces. We're really looking for those good defensive stats with speed, accuracy, and resistance. And you'll see that even again throughout the jewelry, HP percent, defense percent. Richtoff would get more benefit from a flat defense ring rather than a flat HP ring, but I don't have one of a similar quality as this one in defense. And then Amulet, like I said, he gets more benefit from flat defense than flat HP, so this is pretty much a perfect neck for this build. And then here we've got a resistance banner with HP percent, defense percent, and speed. This is again pretty good for this kind of build. He does get more benefit from HP percent than defense percent. So like I said, ideally we would probably have this as flat defense, and this would have rolled into HP percent. But you're really looking for absolute min-maxing at that point. I think that kind of really covers how we've geared Richtoff, why we've picked the masteries we have, and what I think you need to do if you want to replicate the solo Richtoff experience. I think that's where I'm going to end today's video. I'll let this next run play out. You'll again see we'll probably come quite close, look a bit sketchy, but we end up getting the job done. And that's just kind of what's happened consistently. And like I said, I've never actually had him fail, but I don't like watching it because it doesn't look like it should be consistent, but it just about is. We'll take it. Tomorrow I will do the summoning. I'm going to summon my, not just the shards for the summon rush, but I'm also going to summon my soul stones, and we'll do a video combining the summoning, and we'll look at how we complete the dragon tournament. That'll be in tomorrow's video, which will be day 10. So once again, thanks for watching this series. We are 9 days through the fusion. We're on track, even if we've had the odd hiccup here and there. But, you know, we'll keep soldiering on and we'll get the job done. Good luck with the fusion, and I'll catch you in tomorrow's video. Bye for now.